is to know your clouds. Not all clouds are storm clouds, like these here. These are a type of cloud that doesn't cause any bad weather. You've probably seen lots of these before. They're the classic clouds, the kind most people think of if you ask them to picture a cloud. These clouds kind of look like piles of fluff or cotton. In fact, that's what they're named after. Scientists call these clouds cumulus clouds, from the Latin word meaning a pile of something, like a pile of fluff.
Yeah, right. So we talked about cumulus clouds yesterday in Ed Puzzle.
Fluffy cumulus clouds are usually spaced apart from each other somewhat, so when you see them, there's always some blue sky around them. When you look up and see a sky that looks like this is what we call a partly cloudy day. No bad weather here.
Nice
Cumulus clouds are good weather clouds. So go ahead and turn to page 1 of your booklet. Write the name of this cloud at the top, and under that, write a word that will remind you what the cloud looks like.
So you don't have a booklet. I will show you the experiment with the booklet on Thursday and Friday. So just think, if you did have a booklet, what would you draw? All right, so we have cumulus clouds from yesterday. Today, this is a new type.
If clouds block out the sun, that doesn't mean it's going to storm. These aren't storm clouds. They're just long, flat, spread out clouds that block your view of the blue sky. These clouds are called stratus, from the Latin word for spread out. They're almost like a blanket of clouds that's come over you. So let's put them in your book. In the booklet, turn the page over to page 3. Be careful, you don't want page 2, you want page 3. Write the cloud name at the top of the page, and under that, write a word that will remind you what this cloud looks like. We wrote spread out. Then draw a picture of this cloud in the box. I'll pause the video now. Just press play to continue.
All right, so we would draw a nice spread out cloud. And remember, even though the skies are gray, that does not mean there's going to be a storm.
Okay, so now we know about fluffy cumulus clouds and spread out stratus clouds to give you what this cloud looks like. Then draw a picture of a cumulonimbus cloud.
And this is a cumulonimbus cloud from yesterday, right? They're really tall and they're fluffy, but they bring rain and lightning, and the storms can come and go very quickly. We have one more type for today.
Thicker and darker like this. That's a sign that it's becoming a storm cloud. The reason it's getting darker is because more and more water droplets are building up inside the cloud, which makes it harder for sunlight to shine through from the other side. Once enough water builds up inside that cloud, the water starts to fall down, and the cloud begins to rain. Here's another picture of the same type of cloud.
Ooh, yeah.
So this type of cloud is called Stratonimbus, meaning a spread out rain cloud. You see the lines of rain falling from the cloud? That's actually rain you can see there.
Oh, wow.
So now you know both types of storm clouds. Notice how different they look from each other. Even though they're both storm clouds, Stratonimbus clouds come from spread out stratus clouds, so they're still very long and flat, like a blanket across the sky. And cumulonimbus clouds come from cumulus clouds, so they're still very puffy, just a lot taller than an ordinary cumulus. But maybe the most important difference between these two storm clouds is how they behave. A cumulonimbus cloud is a powerful storm, but the cloud itself is tall, not wide. So that means that when one of these passes over where you live, even though the storm is bad, it doesn't last very long. If one of these storms passes over you, you definitely want to run inside to stay safe. But there's a good chance that in less than 20 minutes, the storm will pass. It might even be sunny outside again, and you'll be able to go back to life as usual. Stratonimbus clouds are the opposite. The clouds are like wide blankets across the sky, so that means that the rain might last all day long. These aren't very powerful storms like a cumulonimbus. There's no lightning, there's no hail, it just rains. You'll be stuck inside most of the day if one of these passes overhead. Now that you understand both storm clouds, let's add Stratonimbus to your book. Turn to page 4, next to where you drew the stratus clouds. Write strato in front of nimbus to make Stratonimbus. And underneath, write some words that will remind you what this cloud looks like. Then draw a picture of the Stratonimbus clouds, and also be sure to shade it in dark to remind yourself that these clouds turn dark gray.
Okay, so now we know the 4 types. We will continue with clouds tomorrow.